A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to UBC Lunchtime News on this 14th day of November 2023. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. Now we start off with our first headlining story this afternoon. A Forum for Women in Democracy for Wode has effectively lobbied for increased opportunities for women's representation in public spaces through affirmative action and has advocated for legislation addressing women's needs. During the annual Sisterhood Forum, the Executive Director, Patricia Munabi, emphasized the importance of women's maintaining solidarity to overcome the challenges they face in achieving empowerment and the promotion of their rights. We have more details in this report.
Because then we start to ask ourselves,
as an organization and as individuals, we are part of the broader women's movement, and through the Sisterhood Forum, we are making a contribution to seeing how we can reignite the flames of sisterhood, seeing how we can reflect on the issues that we have been working on, seeing how we can lay strategies going forward in view of the many challenges that we face as we advance women's rights and gender equality.
For gender-based violence, during the COVID period, we saw high rates of teenage pregnancy. We saw women failing to access reproductive health services, obstetric fistula went up. So there are many, many issues, some affecting women in the rural areas, others affecting women in the urban areas. For example, women in the urban areas are facing issues of domestic violence in homes, but also sexual harassment in working spaces.
The country that is known for having very good laws and policies, but there is a problem at implementation. So we need to, continue to do advocacy to ensure that the laws that are on paper are actually implemented, to ensure that the different institutions that are responsible for the implementation of the laws are actually funded.
Must we wait 10 years to make a status report when there are so many other things that are going on in the government? So we need the government to come through for women. We need a legal environment that is also favorable. We need all the different players, especially the duty bearer, the state as the duty bearer, to come through, whether it is education, whether it is healthcare. All these things have to work together because at the end of the day, human rights are interlinked. You can't say you're enjoying one right, but you're not enjoying the other. In order to have a holistic human being, a holistic woman, you need all these human rights to be able to speak to each other.
Talked about challenges, and we politicians, a young politician, I'm a member of parliament, of course I'm a young politician, we pass through a lot of challenges. First of all, I would say that it's our fellow women that put us down.
Okubeera nga tubalowoozaako nnyo mu ngeri eyo okulaba nga nabo batuuka ku kiruubirirwa. Abakyala banneekolera janga abatunda ennyaanya mu butale, abakola emirimu egyo egy'omu butale nga beekozesa bokka. Weesanga nga ne kamateneti mukazi waffe akafiirwa.
How do we treat those?
Women and girls continue to account for the highest number of new HIV infections, according to the annual Joint AIDS Review report by Uganda AIDS Commission. Now, the report shows that the number of new infections is still high, especially among never married females, who contribute 35% of all HIV transmissions.
The Uganda AIDS Commission has held this year's National HIV/AIDS Symposium on the theme, My Responsibility Towards Ending AIDS by 2030. It is here that the annual Joint AIDS Review report for 2023 was presented, showing overall decline in HIV incidence and prevalence among adults aged 15 to 49 years. The report shows that young women and girls are still accounting for highest number of HIV new infections at 52,000.
We want these new HIV infections to reduce to 10,000 per year, but we see that they are still in the 50,000 series. And yet we have just 2 years to the end of the period that we had targeted. So the new HIV infections are not reducing, they are stubbornly remaining high. And of course the worry is that the young people, the age group that we would want to protect are the ones who are contributing most to these new HIV infections.
So post-COVID, we now the reduction is very slow. I think that's where the question is. From 38,000, we jumped to 53,000, and then we are at 52,000. The reduction is very small. And like the report says, in the age group between age group of 15 to 25 to 24 years, that's where most new infections are. 36% of the new infections are coming from a population, the adolescents and young people.
Stakeholders are now calling for targeted interventions that can protect women and girls from acquiring HIV.
Young girls do not have enough female-centered tools. In this, I mean, we need to look at tools that a woman can use secretly by herself, right? When you're protecting yourself, you shouldn't base it on whether your partner is faithful, whether your partner has used a condom. You as a woman, you should be able to have that power, right? So those tools are very few. However, we have had a few that have come on the market. We've talked about the depibrine vaginal ring, we've talked about the Kabele injection, they've mentioned it, our government has mentioned how it is one of the programs that they are planning to roll out. We have oral PrEP that has been in the country for close to 7 years now, right? However, the government has not told us why we don't have that injection yet.
The report also shows that there is persistent mother-to-child HIV transmission fueled by stigma and lack of disclosure. Inadequate financing for HIV response and tracking remains one of the major challenges that affect efforts in HIV prevention. Adia Nakote, UBC.
In a historic initiative to strengthen cultural bonds and foster economic collaboration, Ugandans residing in Southern Africa are set to convene a summit aimed at celebrating Uganda's rich cultural heritage while exploring avenues for economic growth and collaboration. This is under the guidance of the Ugandan High Commission in South Africa, Pretoria, and the event will happen on the 18th of November 2023. We have the details.
Over 800 Ugandans residing in Southern Africa, including South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Eswatini and Lesotho, and other stakeholders are expected to attend a summit that aims at celebrating Uganda's rich cultural heritage while exploring avenues for economic growth and collaboration. The summit will serve as a platform for Ugandans in Southern Africa to diversify and celebrate their cultural heritage.
We are coming together to have a discussion on where we want to see our country. The Uganda we want. The Uganda with hospitals, the Uganda with good roads, the Uganda with infrastructure, the Uganda free of corruption, because that's what we all aspire for. We are not doing this for the sake of NRM, for the sake of INUB, for the sake of FDC. We are all sitting together to design a proposed policy document that can guide our country and our children for the Uganda they aspire to live in.
In preparation with the Uganda High Commission in South Africa, Pretoria, the event will delve into opportunities that not only uphold the essence of Ugandan identity, but also to mobilize communities to continue making remittances back home.
For the first time in 30 years, we are coming together as the family of Ugandans in Southern Africa to celebrate our rich culture and heritage. We are also looking at the opportunities that will mobilize Ugandans to continue making remittances back home. We have Ugandans that have been successful here in different sectors, in education, in ICT, in medicine, in academia, in farming, and so on and so forth.
Among the key focuses of this engagement is the exploration of productive activities such as trade, investment, tourism, and the opening of markets.
This convention is tailored around the UNA version of the North America, and with the huge number of Ugandans numbering over 1 million in Southern Africa, we believe that it's about time that we came together and engaged in productive activities.
Attendees also have a chance to engage in discussions that could lead to mutually beneficial ventures ultimately contributing to the economic prosperity of Uganda.
We're expecting delegations also from DFCU Bank in Uganda, from PASAID Uganda, from Uganda Development Bank, from Comfort Homes, and many other players. We are expecting business people from different parts of the country, including Lango sub-region.
The summit will be hosted at Villa Africa Hotel, a Ugandan-owned establishment, on 18th November 2023.
UBC Lunchtime News. Now, Minister of State for Microfinance, Aruna Kasolo, has challenged Muslims to work hard and improve their social and economic standards of living. The minister was attending a meeting at Kayunga District Headquarters. We have more.
Speaking during a meeting for the preparations of the inauguration of the Kayunga District Muslim Leadership and the Islamic Banking Kayunga District, Minister Kasolo called on Muslims to embrace government programs to fight poverty and enhance their livelihoods. Government has earmarked over 1.5 trillion shillings to empower Ugandans through various programs. Kasolo declared war against Emyuga defaulters and warned those responsible to rectify all the anomalies.
So we must respect whatever government leaders tell us to do. If government came up with a Emyuga, respect. And please, you have to support Emyuga, support PDM and the other government programs. Because government is there to support you, it is there to serve you. And we were given a contract of 5 years.
The Deputy Coordinator Emyuga Program State House, Haj Abdul Bisaso, called for mindset change in communities to realize their dreams.
I am happy to speak to the people of Kayunga, the Muslim fraternity, about mindset and enterprise selection, especially in the cooperative world. It is necessary and important that as we intend to join cooperatives, we should also start to think and also to understand that anything called a cooperative starts with honesty, the mindset, and also knowing that whenever you join a cooperative, it has an element of saving.
Kayunga District representative to the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, General Assembly Sulaiman Madada, explained that the intended Islamic Bank is going to be an inclusive venture.
And in this line, we have agreed to have a circle based on Sharia principles registered for Kayunga District, but with the shares in the majority circle of Uganda Muslim Council. We think that by doing so, we shall be relieving a burden of having what we call money attained with interest, which is not in the Islamic principle.
The leadership of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, Kayunga Muslim District, and the Islamic Bank, Kayunga Branch, will be inaugurated by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on the 25th of November at Chelima Mosque in Chelima Sub-County, Kayunga District.
All UBC Lunchtime News takes a very short break, but we'll be back with more stories. Don't move an inch.
Jovia ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kkubo ku ki ky'osobola okukola omukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
African Airline Association, in conjunction with Uganda Airlines, presents the 55th AFRA Annual General Assembly between the 19th and 21st November 2023 at Speak Resort Hotel, Munyonyo, in the heart of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. In attendance will be 500 high-profile African and global aviation leaders, 40 airline CEOs making strides to transform aviation for development. The 55th AFRA AGA is proudly powered by
West Nile Education Trust Fund announces the 4th annual fundraising dinner to be hosted in Kampala at Kampala Parents Main Hall on Saturday, the 2nd of December 2023, starting at 4 p.m. The Trust Fund targets to support brilliant but needy students from West Nile region to join public universities to study selected professional courses. The fund is currently supporting 28 students in the different public universities across the country. The West Nile Education Trust Fund calls upon all education-loving individuals, corporations, organizations and all well-wishers and associates of West Nile to support this initiative. Tickets are on sale at 100,000 Ugandan shillings per person, 180,000 shillings for a couple, and a corporate table of 6 persons costs 1 million Ugandan shillings. For more information, you can contact Mr. Charles Drakabo on 0772 603 162, Mr. Robert Ejiku on 0772 522 619, and Miss Carol Andama on 0772 760 210.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the business scene. Stakeholders in the energy sector want young people to be involved in finding renewable energy solutions. Agnes Nalwaga Doko, an electric engineer at Center for Research in Energy and Energy Conservation, says young people are the future generation and therefore need to be involved in coming up with ideas that can contribute to saving the environment. According to the Uganda National Household Survey of 2021 by Uganda National Bureau of Statistics, 90% of the population uses firewood and charcoal for cooking. Unsustainable biomass has had a negative impact on the country's forest cover as people continue to cut down trees to meet their energy needs. This has also contributed to climate change, resulting in negative impacts like prolonged drought, floods, and loss of lives. It is against this background that Center for Research in Energy and Energy Conservation, CRIC, is collaborating with Step Up Standard Limited to involve young people in the conversation of renewable energy.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, teenagers are basically 7.5 million, which is about 16.9% of our population, and that's quite big. So having them in these discussions, having them be part of the dialogue for renewable energy is imperative, it's important, it's relevant, because these young people are the future generation that will be buying and adopting and producing and utilizing all this energy in the future, and we need them.
In line with
our mission, which is to enhance access to modern types of energy, one of the things or ways we are doing this is to start interesting the younger generation in energy. So as part of this drive, also as part of the Creek Academy, we came up with what is called Creek Academy Under 18. And under 18 can range from even as young as 2 years. We love children, we're interested in children, and we want them to grow up knowing about energy. What are the modern energy types? What are the cleaner energy options? There's so much.
Young people from different schools are brought together and given tasks to come up with alternative energy solutions that are friendly to the environment.
Then if we go for biogas, because biogas we have human waste, then we also have...
We're looking at alternative sources of energy, and some of the sources of energy we found out was solar energy. Now this runs on use of sunshine, as you can see, using a solar panel, wind energy, which uses wind turbines. And for those that do not know them, we've watched movies, and there are those long white poles with like veins that keep rotating. Those can also produce energy.
The young people are optimistic about being involved in renewable energy solutions, saying they have a stake as the future generation.
I believe it is a must, because we need to know and need to get out there, We need to show them that we too have ideas and should not be left to die in their dreams and to die in the dust. We should also be helped, uplifted, let me say. We should be uplifted and given the hand, because I've seen people my age coming up with ideas that are dying. We talk about them and you're like, oh yeah, that can work, but they are dying. So yeah, it's important that we are put there, because you don't know what's next. We are the future.
We will love to learn more and be motivated. And if we are motivated, I believe we are going to also motivate the others. And if we motivate the others, we are going to see a healthy Uganda, a free Uganda, a Uganda which is healthy.
With the increasing population and the current challenge of climate change, it is crucial that alternative energy sources are embraced. Adia Nakuti, Lorraine Masika Kazimoto, UBC.
Era tutukanga oba omuntu nti nigasita ndala mukaaga itaano sita isatu ash onige yes
ngaho bakubuza amachanti
nga bamubuza amachanti code nga tumukoba atamu 7 bino olumalirizawo ngatamu esente dali kuwayo kumbaga ya mwenemu sawa yeneyo nga kyabazinga amwebaza nga tweyongere kai tujja mu kyalo ekindi
ekikoba embago lunawa luti nga mwira
tulija kumala kai tweyongere emyezi mukaaga nga tukasomesa abantu momope
baba embaga ya mwenemu eriyo nga 18 kai emyezi omukaaga gyoli kuongeramu ojaji
oyidine bya momope abantu yembite yona bandeta momo ono ne bibali kumpaka ne bya momo pabi kyama kupichipichi ojo bisomese
beka muleke musoni we kyamaja
baba tuka bulungi
simbule mbalasi asumulude
momo nyabo.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
There's money in farming.
Foundation's 2023 Gala Dinner with the theme Feeding the Hungry and Deprived Children, happening on the 25th of November 2023 at Sheraton Hotel. Tickets are 100K for single and 1 million for a table. You can also come with things to donate like clothes, shoes, and others. For more info, please contact 0774 508202 or 0753 055437 or 0704 499543 and Momo Pay 198377.
In the past, my people could predict the weather, but now the rules of nature have been rewritten. The commitment of taking care of your people and planet presents a challenge. A challenge that leads you into the unknown. Exploring untouched paradises, seemingly from another world. All of them connected by the water that flows downstream from the peak of the kingdom. And I can feel deeply how this mountain is suffering. A place where the purity of the air drives you to keep climbing upward. Treasure that we must all protect before it's lost forever.
Welcome back. And now onto the sports scene. After landing in Morocco, Cranes are in training ahead of the Friday game against Guinea. With the new coach in charge, changes in call-ups for the national team are visible. Take a look.
The national football team, the Cranes, has had light training sessions after arrival in Morocco. The team is set to feature in the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Guinea and Somalia. Cranes coach Paul Put believes they are in good shape as most of the players were fully engaged in their respective clubs.
It was especially a little bit to introduce what I want to see on the pitch. The aggressivity, the reaction we have been doing, players have been responding, players have been training very well. Maybe different than otherwise, so they get used to that because I know it's a little bit hard. But I think I saw a good reaction, so tonight we will analyze this training, we will all sit down together.
Uganda is facing Guinea on the 17th November at Stade du Municipal Bakane before facing Somalia 4 days later at the same venue in Morocco. The team had changes in the squad with the return of Unus Sentamu and Waga Kizito, who had been left out by former Cranes tactician Milton Mitchell. Team captain Khalid Aucho says they are fired up for the challenge.
Yeah, for us players, always we are here to deliver, and we always fight for our nation so that we can get good results. And for me, what I promise you, I know our players and all the squad, which I've seen, and I know the players, and I've seen them, they are happy. And we are together to the Ugandan fans, Ugandan supporters. I promise you we're going to deliver and we're going to get the 6 points.
16 local-based players were called up to join other members from foreign-based clubs. Uganda lost out in the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations, but however has a chance to redeem itself in these World Cup qualifiers. Uganda Cranes are in Group G alongside Somalia, Guinea, Algeria, Botswana and Mozambique.
Well, and with that, UBC Lunchtime News does come to an end. Thank you so much for your company this afternoon. Do enjoy much more of UBC Television's programming. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. Good afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
My name is Damali Sali and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected. And today I host Dr. David Mwesigwa, who is the medical in charge of My Doctor. And he's going to tell us all about it. Dr. David, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Damali, for welcoming me and having me here at the Ideation Corner. I'm called Dr. David Mwesigwa, the medical in charge for My Doctor, Digital Healthcare Services. My Doctor is a healthcare service provider who deals in offering both what we call the traditional healthcare, and then also we are venturing into what we call, or what is termed as telemedicine.
Okay.
Someone might ask themselves what is traditional healthcare.
What's the difference?
So traditional healthcare is the usual healthcare system that we've been used of, especially here in Uganda.
You walk into the hospital?
When I'm sick, I wake up, put on my dresses, walk into the hospital, I make up the queue, see the doctor, I get treatment, and I go back home.
Yeah.
So we venture into that.
You do that as well.
Yeah. And we have our facility. It is located in Nansana, Mastowa. But then we are also venturing into what we call telemedicine, where a patient can access the doctor from anywhere and at any time.
Okay.
Yes,
how does
please.
that work?
There are very many ways where people can access telemedicine, especially with My Doctor. Though right now we are mainly focusing at making it really very accessible to each and everyone at an affordable rate.
Okay.
So one of the ways where patients can access the doctor using telemedicine is through the direct phone calls.
So telemedicine is telephone medicine?
It is not,
but not only
basically telephone medicine, because there are a wide range of other appliances that can be used.
That is not the telephone?
Yes, please.
But did it just start with telephone? That's why they call it telemedicine?
Not really, but just because most of the ways the patients can access the doctors is through the telephone.
The telephone.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So if I'm sick, how do I use the telemedicine side of My Doctor?
It depends on what you can access easily with you.
Okay.
If someone just has access to these small phones, maybe it's not a smartphone.
I have a cavity, yes.
You have a cavity, you can just call in at My Doctor. Even if you just beep.
Oh.
Our model of working, we are ready to call back and we see what were your concerns and how can we be able to address them.
Okay.
Then those who can access internet, we still use our numbers using the WhatsApp.
The same number?
The same numbers using WhatsApp, whereby someone can do video calling such that you access the doctor and can be able even to physically see you, though through the phone. Yes, please.
So I can talk to the doctor on video?
Yes, please.
And say, my leg is sick, there is the leg.
My leg is sick, it has a wound, so the doctor will be saying, let me have a look at the wound.
Have a look at the wound.
So you have real-time access to the doctor, but from wherever you are.
Okay.
You don't need to come in and walk into the hospital.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So let me say, which most people do have a feature phone, right?
Yeah.
And I call or I beep. I like that I can beep because also, what if I don't have credit?
Yeah.